I have a special skill. Whenever I get screwed over, the stocks I buy go crazy up. Cheat on me behind my back, up. Hug and cuddle women behind my back, up. Talk bad about me behind my back, up. Until one day, I found the stock index soaring straight to the sky, skyrocketing. Time to buy a bag. The office building elevator was under repair. I took the stairs down to get a delivery. When I reached the 5th floor, I heard a familiar voice from the stairwell corridor. Weiwei, your skin is really white, really smooth, way better than my girlfriend's. You have no idea, she's dark as hell, and she's got pimples and blackheads. One kiss from her disgusts me the whole night. My brow twitched. If I heard right, it was my boyfriend Lu Yang's voice. I quietly stepped forward and saw a man and woman with their backs to the stairwell, chatting and laughing on the balcony. The man's pig hoof was rubbing up and down the woman's face and waist. Anyone who didn't know better would think they were a couple. I raised a brow and called out to him, Lu Yang, what a coincidence. Lu Yang hurriedly pulled back his pig hoof. Weiwei, don't misunderstand. This is my new coworker Lin Rongrong. I'm her team lead. I'm telling her some things to watch out for at work. I lowered my head and glanced at the index of the stock I bought on my phone. It went up. A stock called a rotten egg in the market had actually risen several points in one day. No one knows, I have a special skill. As long as my boyfriend does something that wrongs me, the stocks I buy will go up. As for how much they rise, that depends on how badly he screws me over. The harder he screws me, the crazier they rise. I stared at him. Maybe I made his hair stand on end, because Lu Yang pulled me into a corner and laughed awkwardly. Weiwei, you know me, I just have a cheap mouth, I speak without thinking. I swear, I'll never do this again, or else I'll get hit by a car when I go out. I sneered, ha ha ha, you'd better not wrong me again, otherwise I'll make your little brother vanish from this world. On Lu Yang's birthday, I cooked a whole table of dishes at home, planning to let him come celebrate at my place. But he called me, Weiwei, my co-workers insist on treating me to dinner and karaoke, so I'm not coming to your place. Eat well, drink well, then go to sleep early. After hanging up and looking at the table full of dishes, in a fit of anger, I threw them all into the trash. Back at my own place, I saw Lu Yang had posted on Moments. He was in a KTV, taking a cheek-to-cheek photo with that woman called Lin Rongrong I'd seen in the corridor last time, with the caption, "The big beauty in our group is wishing me happy birthday, hee." Me, frowning, I opened the stock app on my phone. Looking at that red line shooting upward, my eyes went red. Damn, last time just one dirty grab made it shoot up 2 index points. Now it shot up 4 points at once. Aren't they about to make a baby? I hurriedly called Lu Yang. At first the call could still go through, but he just wouldn't answer. In the end he simply turned off his phone on me. So I had no choice but to call a friend in his group and went straight to the point. Sis, is Lu Yang next to you? It was very noisy on her end. She replied, yeah, he is. What's up? It sounded like there were a lot of people there, so he probably wouldn't dare openly cheat in front of everyone, right? So I smiled and said, no, have fun. After hanging up, I stared at the stock index, yet fell into confusion again. The index was rising like crazy, but no physical cheating? Could it be a coincidence? The more I thought, the more it felt wrong. So I drove over following the location Lu Yang posted on Moments. The moment I got out of the car, I saw Lin Rongrong holding his waist and helping him out. One of Lu Yang's hands was also restlessly wrapped around Lin Rongrong's waist, his body almost leaning on her. From time to time he let out a ha-ha laugh, looking stupid and lewd. Even I felt it hurt my eyes. I walked over, smelled the strong alcohol, and said in a low voice, Lu Yang. Lu Yang slowly raised his head to look at me. Who are you? I slapped the back of his head. Your girlfriend. After getting hit, Lu Yang yelped in pain, but sobered up a bit, and smiled awkwardly. Ah, Weiwei. Seeing this, Lin Rongrong, who was supporting him, let go and wanted me to take over. Sis. I didn't go support him. Lu Yang staggered and fell to the ground, crying out in pain. Fuck, Chen Weiwei, why didn't you hold me? He still had the nerve to ask me to hold him. Lin Rongrong said, Sister Weiwei, Brother Yang was drunk, that's why I kindly helped him. I glanced at Lin Rongrong and didn't reply. There were so many of Lu Yang's co-workers there, men and women. Did all the men have no hands, that it had to be you, a woman, helping him? I dragged Lu Yang by his clothes into the car. As soon as the door closed, I gave him 2 hard slaps. Lu Yang held, what are you doing? I gave him 2 more hard slaps. Sober up a little? Getting unclear with a female coworker, Lu Yang, you've really gotten capable. If you want to break up, you can just say it directly. No need to do this donkey riding horse searching. Lu Yang shut up and said nothing. I was so angry that I drove him straight back to his own neighborhood, dumped him there, and went home. On the road, the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. Once a person's heart changes, it's hard to pull it back. I sent Lu Yang a WeChat message, let's find time to talk. Are we breaking up or what exactly? Lu Yang was a blind date my coworker introduced to me. We had been dating less than a month. If you say we knew each other well, that was true. After all, we worked at the same company. Although in different departments, we often ran into each other when going to and from work, so if you count it up, we'd met quite a lot. If you say we didn't know each other deeply, that was also true. After all, we'd only confirmed the relationship less than a month ago. We hadn't even held hands more than a few times. But I didn't get to talk with Lu Yang. Early the next morning, just after I got up, the company called and sent me on a business trip. Before leaving, I sent Lu Yang a WeChat message telling him about it. Because I was anxious to settle this matter, what was supposed to take a week, I sped up and finished the project. I came back 2 days early. On the way home, I took out my phone and opened the stock app. At one glance, all the stocks I bought were soaring red in straight lines. In a single day, the account had given me enough extra money for a house. But I wasn't very happy, because I knew that behind every big rise was a very painful betrayal. Now that this stock is rising so fiercely, Lu Yang must have done something terribly wrong to me. I immediately called Lu Yang, but after dozens of calls in a row no one answered, and in the end his phone was even turned off. Every time Lu Yang does something wrong to me, he stops answering calls and then turns off his phone. He never gets tired of this trick. I was so angry my eyes turned red, thinking you'd better not let me find out what you've done, or I definitely won't let you off. I went home first, but when I got there I found the door half open. I suspected a thief had broken in, so I immediately called the police. I had planned to wait until the police came before going in, but indescribable sounds came from inside. Making my eyebrows jump wildly. Not good, a woman's sixth sense suddenly came out. I immediately grabbed the mop by the door and went inside. The house was a mess, with unfamiliar bras and panties all along the way, straight to my bedroom. The bedroom door was ajar. I knocked it open with the mop, and what came into view was a shameless man and woman embracing together. When that woman saw me, she let out a fake scream and threw herself into Lu Yang's arms. Get out! Startled, Lu Yang came to his senses and seemed very dissatisfied with me, this suddenly appearing audience member. He barked at me in a low voice to get out, and even thoughtfully covered that woman with the floral quilt I had bought not long ago. I held back my anger, speechless. If anyone should get out, it's you. This is my home. But they couldn't get out, because the police had already arrived at top speed. When they rushed in and saw that shameless pair hugging each other stark naked, the corners of their mouths twitched, and they looked at me. You called the police? They're the thieves? Yes, officer, this scumbag man and bitch woman trespassed into a private residence and engaged in obscene acts. I said with a dark face, arrest them. Lu Yang started cursing, Chen Weiwei, I'm your boyfriend. Isn't it only natural for me to come to your house? I let out a cold laugh. Lu Yang, you entered without my consent. I don't care who you are, that is trespassing. The officer immediately understood what had happened and said to me with some sympathy, "Miss, so your boyfriend entered your home without your consent, then called a woman over for prostitution?" That woman shrieked, "You're the hooker." "I didn't say you were a hooker. You said it yourself." The officer said coldly, "Whether it's trespassing or cheating and soliciting prostitution, we must first take you back to the station." At the police station, Liu Yang and that woman were trembling with fear, begging me to withdraw the case. Liu Yang said self-righteously, "Chen Weiwei, you have no feminine charm, you don't act cute, you do everything yourself, you don't need me." "She's not like that, she's gentle and lovely, always saying help me, and she doesn't give me pressure." "So because I'm too strong, that's your reason for betraying me?" In a fit of anger, I turned around and told the officer to lock them up on the charge of trespassing and engaging in obscene acts. On the road to becoming a rich woman, I leave everyone far behind. In love, though, my head is a vast green grassland. My bestie Lin Lin saw me after getting played, like a withered little weed, and with a big wave of her hand took me to a bar to pick up handsome guys and fertilize myself. "Chen Weiwei, you have money. If you have money, you have men. If you have money, you can buy the love of all kinds of young fresh meat and old cured meat, get it?" I suddenly understood. So at the bar, after a glass of beer went down, on my way to the bathroom I saw a super handsome guy about 1.9 meters tall. He looked very familiar, so I stopped him and shoved him against the wall. I asked him, "Handsome guy, if I give you 20,000 a month, can you be my boyfriend?" The handsome guy half narrowed his eyes and looked down at me, "Sure." His face and the alcohol both rushed to my head, I nodded hard. "Give me your phone, I'll scan the money to you right now." After the payment code scan succeeded, I don't remember anything that happened next. I only know that after waking up, I found myself lying messily dressed on my own bed. There were footsteps coming toward the room. I looked up and was scared out of my wits, shouting, "Who are you? Why are you in my house?" The handsome guy set a bowl of ginger soup on the bedside table. "Sister, I'm your boyfriend." My face was full of shock. After my splitting headache, my memory finally revived a little, and I remembered what happened by the bathroom. Then I suddenly remembered he was the new neighbor next door. So I looked at the handsome guy awkwardly. I was drunk and acting crazy. "Why, you don't have to take it seriously. Take someone's money, help them solve their trouble. I took 3 months of your money, so I have to be your boyfriend for a full 3 months before I can leave." The handsome guy curled his lips into a smile. "That's the basic virtue of being a person, and also my professional ethics." Professional ethics, I struggled a bit, but still asked, "You often be other people's boyfriend?" The handsome guy raised his brows and said softly, "First time starting out. My name is Xinyan, I'm 25 this year." I gently closed my eyes and took a deep breath, calming the surging excitement in my heart. 2 years younger than me, good-looking, good-tempered young fresh meat, just like that became my hired boyfriend. Upholding the standard of a qualified boyfriend who can come whenever called. Xinyan proposed to stay at my house. "Sister, I rented the place next door. Today the landlord said relatives are moving in, so he kicked me out. Now I count as homeless, so take me in." I refused, but it was useless. Xinyan ran next door, moved his luggage over, and after settling in the second bedroom, went to the kitchen to cook for me. He made braised pork ribs, shredded chicken by hand, and pickled fish. While being amazed by his cooking, I looked at him in confusion. "Xinyan, how do you know I like to eat these? You said it last night after getting drunk." Xinyan picked a piece of meat for me. "Sister, you're too thin, eat more." I widened my pig eyes, so moved that snot flowed sideways. This was the first time someone said I was very thin. My XXX and XXX all said my figure was plump, so every time I went out to eat with them, for the sake of face, I only took a few bites and could only go home and eat instant noodles as an extra meal. But Xinyan was different. He was the boyfriend I hired with money. Fake. In front of my fake boyfriend, I had no burden, and in one go I finished all the dishes, burping, and gave Xinyan a thumbs up. Xinyan, your cooking is really great, did you study it? Xinyan curved his lips and looked at me. I'm Big Sister's exclusive chef. Damn it, that sweet little mouth, that charming look made my heart race. Just as I was dazed, Xinyan suddenly leaned down close to my face. Our eyes met, and my heartbeat went crazy fast like I was about to ascend. What do you want to do? He reached out and brushed up the strand of hair that had fallen down, laughing softly, his tone ambiguous. Big Sister's look, is it because you thought I was going to kiss you? My face went red with a bang. Xinyan laughed. If Big Sister wants a kiss, that's fine too, after all, I'm your boyfriend. Get lost. Living with someone for the first time, I was actually a bit unused to it. But after dinner, Xinyan had things to do, so he hugged his laptop and went into the room. He said, Big Sister, my room door isn't closed. If you need anything, come call me. Xinyan's presence was cut off by the door. After I finished washing up, I went to sleep. But in the second half of the night, I woke up from the heat. Opening my eyes, I found myself wrapping all 4 limbs around Xinyan's body. I screamed in fright. Why are you on my bed? In the dark, Xinyan's eyes were bright. I saw a smile at the corner of his mouth. Big Sister, this is my room. I opened my dog eyes and looked around. Sure enough, it was the decor of the second bedroom, so I gave up and closed my eyes, saying awkwardly, how did I get here? At 12 o'clock, Big Sister opened my door, climbed into my bed, then started taking off my clothes, saying hugging like this was more comfortable. Xinyan pouted, looking aggrieved. Big Sister even kissed my mouth and said it was a loving greeting from a girlfriend. Shut up, I am absolutely not this kind of person. Absolutely impossible for me to take advantage of you while you're asleep. If there was, then I must have been sleepwalking. I was cowardly and didn't dare keep listening, afraid what happened next would make me so ashamed I'd want to smash into tofu. I don't know if it was my illusion, but I seemed to see Xinyan secretly laughing, but it vanished in an instant, leaving no trace. What remained was only a face full of grievance and sadness. He brought his pretty face to my neck and rubbed against it like a puppy, his tone muffled. Big Sister, you don't want to take responsibility for me? Gritting my teeth, I said, fine, let's just say I really took off your clothes and kissed and hugged you. But right now we're boyfriend and girlfriend, so doing these things should be legal. If you're still aggrieved, then say it, what compensation do you want? Hearing compensation, Xinyan's eyes lit up. I actually felt a bit disappointed. After all, feelings that can only be enjoyed by spending money are indeed a bit boring. But the next second, a cool yet soft pair of lips pressed onto my lips. When I reacted and wanted to break free, one hand clasped the back of my head, thoroughly pulling the two of us closer. He kissed me for a full 3 minutes before letting me go. Xinyan's brows and eyes were smiling. He licked his lips, still wanting more. Big Sister, next time remember to breathe when kissing. My face was red and my heart was racing. Xinyan treated me better and better. So good that it gave me an illusion, we were real boyfriend and girlfriend. But I kept reminding myself, fake, the wise do not fall into love. But an accident began to shake my heart. After work, I went home as usual, but as I walked, I heard footsteps following me. When I turned back, I found it was Lu Yang, whom I had once sent into the police station. I said angrily, Lu Yang, you followed me all the way, what exactly do you want? A vicious look flashed in Lu Yang's eyes. Gritting his teeth, he stared at me and cursed, Weiwei, look at the good thing you've done. It's all because of you that I got arrested. The company talked to me yesterday and told me to resign on my own. Now I have a record in my file. It'll definitely be hard to find work in the future. It's all your fault, you evil woman, his words opened my eyes. He was clearly the one who cheated first, got into trouble for hiring prostitutes, and he could still pin it on me. I couldn't be bothered to waste words with him and planned to call the police. Call the police? No way. Since you won't let me live well, I won't let you live well either. I'm going to slash your face. I checked, if I ruin your face without threatening your life, at most I'll just go back in for a few months. But it'll make it so you won't be able to go out and face people again. A folding knife suddenly appeared in Lu Yang's hand, and he charged at me. I had dated Lu Yang before. I knew he was obsessive about some things and emotionally unstable. So I absolutely believed he would attack me. Help. Someone's trying to kill someone. I hurriedly ran forward, looking all around, trying to see if there was anyone nearby or somewhere to hide. But this place was a narrow alley to begin with, and now it was midnight. Forget pedestrians, even a passing dog was nowhere to be seen. Seeing that he had forced me into a corner, Lu Yang smiled sinisterly. You can scream your throat out and no one will save you. He raised the knife and came at me. Under the moonlight, the cold gleam of the blade made my whole body tremble, but there was nowhere to run. In my panic, I stopped backing away and lunged at Lu Yang, trying to seize his switchblade with my bare hands. But I had overestimated myself. Gripping the blade, I only felt the sharp pain of my palm being sliced open. You lunatic, let go. Lu Yang was obviously frightened by what I did and instinctively pulled the knife back. With that force, my hand was cut even deeper, but I knew I couldn't let go. If I let go, I was finished. Let go. Lu Yang showed not the slightest regard for what we once had together and actually kicked me. From the pain, I reflexively let go. Lu Yang regained control of the knife and, almost without thinking, rushed at me with it raised. I closed my eyes and waited for despair to fall. Bang. The pain did not come as expected. Instead, by my ear came a huge crashing sound, followed by Lu Yang's scream, "You're fucking asking to die." Sister, I came too late, a familiar voice sounded by my ear. I suddenly opened my eyes and saw Xinyan, his eyes already red. Xinyan looked grimly at the wound on my hand, took off his shirt, wrapped it around my wound and tied it, and said softly, "Sister, I'm sorry, I came too late. Does your hand hurt badly?" A tremor came through his voice, overflowing with heartache for me and self-blame. Maybe when people face danger, when body and mind are fragile, they are prone to being blindly moved. At that moment, I fell for Xinyan. You hurt the person I like most, you're dead. Xinyan rushed at Lu Yang like a wild beast. He punched and kicked him like crazy. If I hadn't shouted for him to stop, Lu Yang would probably have been crippled in that alley. Lu Yang was trash. I couldn't let innocent Xinyan ruin his future for me. I called the police. Lu Yang entered the station a second time. I was taken to the hospital to treat my wounds, then after receiving a call, my best friend came to stay with me and escort me home to rest. Xinyan went to the police station to handle what came next. After returning home, he looked at my bandaged hand, and his eyes reddened. Looking at him like this, I was deeply moved, so I could only take a deep breath and suppress my feelings. No, falling for the person I hired did not fit the rules of the deal. In feelings involving money, whoever falls in is the unlucky one. I asked Xinyan with a bitter smile, "Xinyan, thanks to you appearing that day, otherwise the consequences would have been unimaginable. Logically, I should give you a reward to repay your life-saving grace. Tell me, what reward do you want?" Hearing there was a reward, Xinyan's eyes lit up, and he looked at me expectantly. "Sister, you said there's a reward, you won't go back on it, right?" I nodded. "I won't." Xinyan was very happy and suddenly bent down and hugged me. "Sister, can we try really dating? Try it, 3 months. If after 3 months you think I'm no good, then can we go back to how we were before? Can we try being a real couple? Me?" Ever since he suggested becoming a real couple last time, Xinyan treated me better and better. When I got off work and went home, he would come pick me up, saying, "If I don't come out to get you, I won't feel at ease." He would cook the dishes I liked, saying, "What sister likes to eat, I also like to eat. What sister doesn't like to eat, I also don't like to eat." From now on I'll only make everything sister likes to eat. On holidays he would also take me out to have fun. In my best friend's words, my complexion was rosy now. One look and you could tell I was being nourished by love. I took out a mirror to look, a little shy really. Is it that obvious? My best friend smiled and said, yes, super obvious. But the more it was like this, the more flustered I became, the more I feared gain and loss. After all, having met too many scumbags, I always felt most men in the world were all the same kind. Casually dating was fine, but the moment I got serious, I lost. So every day I couldn't help taking out my phone to look at the stock app. Deep down I was always afraid the stock would turn red. During the first month, the stock stayed unmoving as a mountain, quiet as a chicken, which reassured me. Seeing me always staring at the stock app, Xinyan couldn't help leaning over and asking, "Sister, did you buy stocks? I heard from my friend these stocks are pretty good, you can try buying them." Immersed in the sea of male beauty and tenderness, whatever Xinyan said went. But at the start of the second month of the relationship, Xinyan began to be off. He usually liked to hold his computer and tinker in the room, but began going out frequently. Sometimes he went out in the morning and came back very late. Finally one day, I sat on the sofa waiting until after midnight before he opened the door and came back. Seeing I was still awake, Xinyan looked a little surprised. "Sister, why are you still not asleep? Are you feeling unwell somewhere?" After hesitating for a while, I still couldn't help asking, "Xinyan, you've been coming back so late lately. Is something going on?" Xinyan froze for a moment, then subconsciously said to me, "Is sister worried about me?" "Don't worry. My friend started a business, something happened at the company, and asked me to go help out, so I went to help. In a few more days it'll be done." I nodded to show I believed him. But after returning to my room, I still couldn't help opening the phone app to look at the stock index. When I saw the originally quiet index suddenly turn red, my heart thumped, and a wave of loss spread through it. If my scumbag-attracting constitution hadn't changed, then that red line was the best proof that Xinyan was lying. What he told me tonight was fake. So the stocks turned red, heh? I mocked myself and said, "Weiwei, you got invested, you deserve it." The next day, my best friend and I went shopping, but at the cafe I saw Xinyan, who was supposed to be helping at a friend's company. Through the cafe's transparent glass window, I saw Xinyan sitting outside the window, face to face with a pretty girl. Handsome man and beautiful woman, they looked at each other and smiled from time to time. That scene made others envious. Following my gaze, my best friend looked toward the glass window and saw Xinyan. She frowned and looked at me. "Weiwei, is that your new boyfriend, that little puppy Xinyan?" I said, "It's him." My best friend hesitated, but finally couldn't hold it in and said, "It's fine. There are plenty of choices in the forest, I'll find you another one." I nodded and added, "More handsome, more considerate." Seeing me like this, my best friend laughed. "Luckily you didn't sink into it." She still wanted to keep shopping, but I used back pain as an excuse and went home. As soon as I got home, I called Xinyan. "Are you still helping at your friend's company today?" "Yeah." "Sister, did you call me for something?" Xinyan's voice was still as gentle as usual. My heart sank again. I said I was just bored and calling him, then hurriedly hung up. I took out the phone app again to look at the stock index. The red this time was the same as yesterday. Although I had never encountered this before, since it had turned red, he must have lied to me. Sitting on the sofa, I thought for a long time. Although it hurt a little, I still decided to draw a clear line with Xinyan. After all, from the very beginning, our purpose in being together was not pure. I paid money, and he played the role of boyfriend. So I sent Xinyan a message, "Xinyan, I thought about it, and I think we're still not suitable. I'll give you 1 week to find a place and move out. During this time, you can keep living in the house." Then I transferred him another sum of money, note, relationship termination payment. After all that, I took leave from the company, packed a few clothes, and planned a short trip to a nearby city. Since it was to clear my mind, I simply turned off my phone and temporarily bought a new SIM card to use. In a bar in a Jiangnan town, I had only one drink, and my head already started to feel dizzy. A man pulled me out of the bar, wanting to take me to his car, smiling as he said, "Beauty, want to go have some fun together? I guarantee I'll make you never want to leave, make you know the taste and crave more. Come with big brother." I waved my hand. "I'm not going." But a woman's strength is no match for a man's, not to mention I was drunk. "Not going won't do. I already booked the room. If you don't go, it'll be too wasteful." As he said that, the man grabbed my hand and tried to drag me into his car. "You drinking and crying and laughing like this, isn't it just heartbreak?" "Heartbreak is no big deal. Be good and listen, I guarantee you'll be very happy and heal your heartbreak wounds." As an adult, how could I not understand their filthy thoughts? I refused and pushed his hand away. "I'm not going." "You don't get to say you're not going." Seeing I wouldn't take the soft approach, the man forcefully dragged me and stuffed me into the car. There were many people coming and going by the roadside, but no one came to save me. I started cursing, "If you dare touch me, I'll call the police. I guarantee I'll make the little thing on your lower body separate from your body." Pa, the man wasn't polite with me. After stuffing me in, he planned to drive, still acting tough. "In a while I'll make your legs go weak." Bang bang. The car window was knocked on, and before I could react, I was dragged out of the car. "Who are you?" Seeing me pulled out of the car by someone, the man quickly got out to snatch me back. The man supporting me said, "I'm her man, I already called the police. If you dare keep laying hands on her, we'll talk at the police station." I shook my head, looked up at the person supporting me, and asked him, "You look a bit like my fake boyfriend I just broke up with." Right, his name is Xinyan. Are you brothers? You look so alike." I saw the man's eyes turn red as he gritted his teeth and said, "Jia, I am Xinyan." In the middle of the night, I woke up from thirst. A cup of water was placed in my hand. After I drank it in one go, I belatedly realized there was someone in my room. I suddenly widened my eyes and saw Xinyan sitting by my bedside, saying in shock, "You. Why are you here?" After not seeing him for a few days, Xinyan looked much more haggard. His eyes were full of red blood vessels, and at this moment he was looking at me with a serious face. "Weiwei, are you serious?" This was the first time he had called my full name. I froze for a moment, then realized what he meant and nodded. "Let's part well and part cleanly." Xinyan's eyes became even redder. He said through gritted teeth, "I don't agree. I want a reason." "The reason why you want to break up? A reason?" After sobering up, my reason returned. I sneered, "What reason does breaking up need? I don't like you." "That's the reason, Xinyan, there's no point clinging to me. I'm not as rich as you imagine. If you want to find a patron, with your conditions, you can still have a better choice." I don't know what nerve my words struck, but his face turned ugly, and he gritted his teeth. "Weiwei, do you think I'm with you for money?" I laughed at myself. "Isn't that so? If I hadn't spent money to hire you, we probably wouldn't even have had the chance to know each other." "Who knew?" Xinyan shook his head and said firmly, "No, absolutely not. Weiwei, even if you had no money, I would still like you. If it's because you have no money now, so you don't want to be with me, then switch it around, okay? I'll support you." He took out his bank cards one by one and placed them in front of me, saying, "Weiwei, the money in these 5 cards together should be 90 million. Is that enough to support you?" "What?" I stared at him with wide eyes, my thoughts suddenly a little confused, and subconsciously asked him, "Xinyan, did you latch onto a rich person and then keep me?" Xinyan was so angered by my words that his face turned red. In his anxiety his mouth got clumsy, so he pulled me into his arms. "Jia, I only like you. I've liked you since a long time ago. It took me so much effort before I could be with you. Can you not abandon me? I really like you so much." Knowing you wanted to break up with me, I was so sad my heart was almost suffocating. As he spoke, a grown boy actually leaned on my shoulder and cried aggrievedly, saying pitifully, "Jia Jia, don't break up with me, okay?" I was a little stunned. Could it be that before, it wasn't you lying to me? Going behind my back to coffee shops with other women, chatting and laughing? I pushed him away and said with a serious face, "Shen, although I don't know what you're up to, I gave you chances before, but you lied to me again and again. I can't accept my partner doing things behind my back that wrong me." I didn't. Seeing Shen refuse to admit it, I said, "The first time, you left early and came back late every day. When I asked what you were doing, you said you were going to help at a friend's company. Are you sure you were helping your friend? And not doing something shady behind my back?" "Something shady? Absolutely not." Shen looked wronged. "Jia Jia, I really did lie to you, admitted it, right? Look, the red line on the stock really wouldn't lie to me." But the next second Shen said, "Jia Jia, I saw you staring at the 2 stocks you bought on your phone every day. Those 2 useless stocks that didn't move much. They were my friend's company's stocks. I was worried you'd lose money, so I went to push my friend a bit, help their company do projects, so the stock could rise and let you make money and be happy." Me? He was even afraid I wouldn't believe him, so he took out his phone and opened a video. The scene in the video was him with XX company, that is, the boss and employees of the company whose 2 stocks I bought, staring at the stock and holding a meeting. So the stock going up wasn't because Shen lied to me, and it wasn't because Shen was playing me. It was because Shen was trying hard to create the conditions to make me happy. I swallowed, unable to understand why someone as powerful and rich as Shen would still lower himself to be with me. Suppressing a stomachful of doubts, I continued with my second one. "That day when I asked if you were at your friend's company, actually, when I was shopping with a friend, I saw you chatting with a beautiful woman in a cafe." Shen froze for a moment and looked even more aggrieved. He took out his phone and made a video call. The other side picked up quickly. It was the beautiful woman I had seen before in the cafe. I heard her say, Yen, what do you want with me, Yen?" Calling him that intimately, "If you still say there's nothing between you," as if I'd believe that. Following her words, Shen glanced at me, then said, "Sis, my girlfriend saw us in the cafe and misunderstood our relationship. Explain our relationship to Weiwei. Before I could react, she started talking. "Ah, Weiwei is there too? Weiwei, you really misunderstood. Yen is my younger brother, my real younger brother. This brat saw the message you sent him and got so anxious he was about to cry." After the video ended, I looked at Shen somewhat blankly. Like a clingy puppy, Shen brought his head over and rubbed against my neck. "Jia Jia, can we not break up?" That damned heartbeat stirred awake again. But I still couldn't understand why someone with conditions as good as Shen's would like me. Yet Shen said mysteriously, "Jia Jia, actually I liked you a long time ago. Extra my name is Shen, I met Chen Weiwei 4 years ago. At the time I was a sophomore, and Chen Weiwei came to our school to recruit. My classmate had nothing better to do and dragged me to the spring recruitment fair, but unfortunately, I probably ate something wrong that day. My stomach hurt so badly I was half dead, squatting in a corner without even the strength to stand up. And that unreliable classmate of mine was nowhere to be found. Just when I thought I was going to pass out from the pain, Chen Weiwei appeared in front of me and asked softly, "Classmate, you've been breaking out in cold sweat the whole time. Are you okay? Do you need my help? I hurt. Men don't speak of pain, but I really hurt too much. Maybe I looked too frightening." I scared her, and she hurriedly helped me up, helped me into her car, drove me to the hospital, and even paid my medical fees. From that moment, her appearance was deeply carved into my heart. Later, I deliberately bought a house next to hers and became her neighbor. I thought the closest I could ever get to her in this life would be as a neighbor. I didn't expect heaven to give me a chance, letting me be together with her, so I have to work twice as hard and cherish all of this.